guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be carrying on with our colour along in Rita Berman's new book. We're going to be tackling the pasta picture today. So we're going to start off with the little macaroni cheese pasta, and for this I'm going to start off with the colour Jasmine Yellow. What I'm going to do is just go in with a light base of this. This is going to be our lightest colour. And then we're going to go in with a slightly darker colour to add some shadow in onto this one. And I just want to say, whilst I'm on here as well, a big thank you to everybody that watched my completed pages for September. So I really appreciate all of that and all of the brilliant comments that everybody left. And I did ask on there if people wanted to see all of my completed pages. Quite a few people actually said, yeah, we'd like to see them. So that's been uploaded today, so that will be already online for you guys now to have a look at if you are interested. This video will go up on a Sunday, so for those of you who don't know, this colour along is actually being posted every Sunday on my YouTube channel, just to try and keep it a little bit consistent for you guys, so you know on a Sunday we'll have a colour along in the Rita Berman books. So for my shade colour I'm going to go in with Camel Brown, and I'm going to add this anywhere that I feel like would be slightly darker, but I'm not going to put too much pressure on because I don't want it to be too dark. So I'm just going to do it really lightly, just in a few places to give this a little bit of shading and a little bit of dimension. So I'm just going to go around the inside edge here, and also here, which would be the inside of the pasta, which would be just a little bit darker. And I'm just going to very lightly blend this out, just in small circular motions. So I'm going to do the same for these ones. And again, just using really light pressure for this. I always find the best thing to do is to go in with light pressure first, because then if you actually don't like something, or you don't like the way that it's coming out on the page, you can actually go over it again with a different colour or try and erase it. Whereas if you've gone in with quite hard pressure and you've used all the texture and the tooth on the paper, it's quite hard to go over it in a different colour or to erase it. So if you go in with a lighter hand first, and then if you do have any problems like that you want to change anything, you've got a better chance of being able to rescue it. So that's that bit. And then I'm going to go back in with the Jasmine Yellow and just blend this together. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave the very top edge in the first coat that we did, so the very lightest shade. So that should give it like a little light reflection, as though the light's coming down from the top of the page. And with this one I'm going to do the same again, so leave this edge here a little bit lighter, but then under here would be darker because it would be in shadow from itself. So I'm going to take that right to about there and blend that in all the way down. So we've just left just the very edge there on that one. This one I'm going to do all over because it's actually upside down, so I feel like this one would be a little bit darker all over. I'm just going to quickly darken up these little bits in this one as well with the Camel Brown. There we go. And then again for this top one, it's going to be much lighter on this top half here, so I'm going to do all of this bit here. And then when we come to here, I'm just going to leave the lighter colour on the very edge. There we go. So that's the little macaroni cheese pasta done. So I actually had a look online to see what different colour pastas you can get, and the most colours that I saw were like a yellowy type colour, a green or an orange. So the next ones that we're going to do in orange. So I'm going to go in with pumpkin orange, which is going to be my darker colour. So this is going to be more of the shaded effect. So because the light's coming from the top on this picture, I'm going to do the bottom darker. So I'm going with the darker colour here. And then it's going to get lighter as it comes to the top. This bit here would all be dark because that's the underneath. And here would be dark too. I'm going to go all over this one. And then the edges of this. So here I'm just going to lighten up the pressure a little bit, just to blend this in a little bit easier. So I've got harder pressure at the bottom and then just lightening up as we come to the middle section here. And then I'm going to take my lighter colour, which I've picked Marmalade Orange, and we're going to add this over the top of this middle bit here and take it up to the top. And I'm just going to go back in with the pumpkin orange, just add a little bit more on this one to the bottom, darken that up a little bit, and I'm just going to bring it around the very edge here, which will help it look like it's overlapping a bit more. So do the same on this one, but I'm going to do it on this side. Okay, and then next we are going to go in with the greens. So the greens that I've picked are Absinthe Green and Matcha Green. So the darker one of this is the Matcha Green, so the Absinthe is going to be the lighter colour. So I'm going to do the bow in the green colour. So I'm going to take the Absinthe Green and I'm just going to do a really light coat all over. And then we're going to go in with Matcha Green and we're going to add in some shade into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow these lines here, take it right up to the edge. And then in the middle, I'm going to blend that all together and just bring this colour slightly out from the middle. And then I'm going to go back in with Absinthe Green and I'm just going to lightly blend this in. And I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. And now I'm going to go in with white quartz. And I'm just going to use this to blend this colour here on the edge. And just drag that into the middle. think our dark lines need to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to go back in with Matcha Green and just go over these lines again, just to darken them up a little bit. There we go, that looks a bit better, a bit more visible. And there we go. We are going to tackle the shell, and I saw online that they have purpley type pasta, so for this one we're going to go in with Burgundy. And I actually forgot to mention that we're using the Arteza 120 set for this today, which is what we've used for all of the other pictures on here as well, so I just wanted to continue with the same pencils and keep it consistent for everybody. I'm just going to do this bit under here. So this bit is the inside of the pasta, so this bit is going to be darker. Darken this up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go over the shading with a dark brown. So I'm going to use dark chocolate brown, and I'm just going to add that to this bit here where we've got the shadow to make it even darker. So I'm going to bring that up to about halfway. And I'm going to go back in with white quartz. I'm going to go over this. So this is going to blend all the colour together so that we don't have any sort of grainy texture, and just drag out a tiny bit of colour towards the edges. I'm just going to add a bit more Burgundy in here, so I'm going to go over these lines, make this stand out a little bit more. Okay, just a little more colour here. There we go. And then I think we'll do this one in the middle green again. So I'm going to do the inside part with the Matcha Green. Do that quite hard pressure and get quite a nice dark green on there. And then going back in with the absinthe green, we're going to do all the light areas. So just using light pressure on this, I'm going to leave the top bit there white to give it a bit of a reflection. And then I'm just going to use light pressure and colour this in all over. And then I'm going to go back in with Matcha Green. What we're going to do is add a little bit of shadow here. So where the rim of the pasta is would create a little bit of shadow there. And we're going to put some at the bottom as well. Just follow the lines that are there as well, use them to help you. And then just go back over this bit to blend that out a little bit. So we'll go back in with the white and just do this top edge, and also here in the middle. Let's blend that all together, and that's that one done. So now for the swirls in the background, we're going to do them a pale pink. So we're going to start with pink macaroon and go over these with a light pressure. Okay, and then for our shade colour, I'm going to use peony pink. So anywhere towards the top is going to be lighter and underneath is going to be darker. So this bit here, I'm going to add some shade in. And here. And then we're going to have a little bit here from this one. And we'll do this little bit here as well. This bit's are going to be all dark, hidden away under there. And here, a bit of dark. Go down there. This top bit here is going to be where the light hits it the most. So I'm going to do in here darker. And then this bit here. And then we're going to swap down to that bit. There we go. So all of this would be in shadow really from this one. So I'm going to do the top line along here a bit darker. And this little bit here. And then follow this down. So that's the shadows all in place. Then I'm going to go back in with pink macaroon. Just go over this bit and fill in any gaps. Now I'm not quite sure what these are meant to be in the background, but they look a little bit like lemons to me, so I'm going to make them lemons. So I'm going to go in with sapphire yellow, and I'm just going to do a base coat on all of these, just a light coat on every one. And then I'm going to go in with lemon yellow, which is our darker colour, and I'm just going to darken up the areas where the shading would be. So I'm going to do some on the bottom for these ones, because again the light's coming from the top, so the tops would be lighter. So this bit here along the bottom and about halfway up this one, I think. This one would have a tiny bit there. There we go. Again, I'm going to go for this side. This little bit here I must have done in the dark orange by accident, so I'm going to use my eraser, this little tiny eraser, see if I can get rid of some of the colour and make it a bit lighter, because it just looks too dark. Okay, so let's make that a bit lighter. So I'm going to go back in with marmalade orange. And just go over that. Oh, there we go, that's much better. Okay, now we need to do a background. So we're going to go in with sky blue first, and we're going to do some shading directly under these objects. And then we're going to go in with fog grey, and we're just going to go over these bits. And I'm going to go back in with white. Just going to go over these again. Just to really blend this all together. So I'm just going to go over this with some white gel pen just to add a few more highlights in here. So just on the top here. So that's it, you guys, that's the finished picture. I hope you enjoyed this video. We've only got 3 left now, so once we finish this we'll have to decide which page to do next as a colour along. So you'll have to leave your suggestions in the comments below. It doesn't have to be a Rita Berman book. Just let me know if there's any kind of page that you guys want us to do together and we can do that. And also I had a request for us to do the PDF that Rita Berman gave out before she released the book, because I know some of you haven't got the book yet. So we're going to be doing that as well. So we're hoping to get the first video up for that for next week. So even if you don't have the book, you can still join in with the free PDF colour along. But I think that's it for now, guys. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video.